Good evening and a very warm welcome to this awesome program on NTV. It's a pleasure as always to have you all with us. Hope you've started 2015 with a bang and I hope you get to do all the right things to have an even more phenomenal year coming up. Today we're going to continue our discussion on an extremely important topic that we started last week. And the question that we're going to discuss today is, how do we choose the appropriate, the right career for your child? The question is of utmost importance. Well, in my role as the head of learning and development in a bank, I get to coach young associates. 2 or 3 months after joining the organization, we call them and we ask them these questions. Question number 1, what are your strengths? And when they start speaking about it, we ask them, okay, what are those things that you do much better than others? What are those things that you really enjoy doing? When you do them, it's as if time stops and they get fully immersed in it. When they start enumerating it, they say, these are my strengths. We then ask them, do you get to display these strengths? Do you get to use these strengths at your workplace on a daily basis? A small percentage of these associates say yes, and they say because of that they're absolutely happy, they're thrilled, they look forward to coming for work. While the vast majority of them say, well, we never get a chance to use these strengths at work, and because of that they're dejected, they don't feel happy, and they feel they're prisoners at the workplace. And that's why this question is extremely important. And that's what research says as well. 68%, dear viewers, 68% of people say that they're not happy with their works. If you give them one opportunity, they're going to run out of their offices to look for jobs elsewhere. They literally feel that they're prisoners. So this is what we want to stop. We don't want our children to lead such lives, and that's why we are discussing this pertinent question: how do we choose the right career for our children? Just think about these 4 extremely famous, extremely important professionals. First, Raghuram Rajan, who is an ace economist. Think about Satya Nadella, who is a software professional. Think about Sania Mirza, our tennis star, and A.R. Rahman, our music maestro. Just imagine if Raghuram Rajan's parents had said, you are an engineer, so you have to get into software coding. Finish software coding and then go to USA for a job. We would have lost such a great economist pro. Or imagine if Satya Nadella's parents, in fact we passed out from the same college, from Manipal Institute of Technology, Satya Nadella's parents say, you should become an economist because that was my dream. I could never become one, so you have to become one. Okay? And just imagine if Sania Mirza's parents had sent her to a Carnatic school to learn the ragas and the talas somewhere in Hyderabad, or if A.R. Rahman was trying to ace his forehands and his backhands. The world would have missed such an awesome professional, and that is indeed a loss. Just think, parents. How many professionals are we losing because we are pushing our children to take up particular careers? And that's what we need to stop. And unfortunately, of late, we see some wrong trends happening in the other direction as well. Your son is interested in photography, so you buy him a brand new branded camera with all the accessories, and you say, I'm part of a new generation dad, okay, and I'm going to allow my child to take up a career in photography. 2 years later, the child says, Dad, this is not cool. I want to take up a career in music. And then you wonder, oh my God, what happened? Where did things go wrong? So you cannot allow our children to take decisions, because at 12 or 13, I don't think they have all the resources to make the right choices. And you should not push your child to follow a career based on your perceptions and interests either. So where is the middle path? Well, the middle path is to follow the scientific approach, and we are here on NTV My Teacher to show you how exactly you can choose the right career for your child. In our first episode, we talked about aptitude testing. We had an expert here in the studio, and we also showed you a link through which you can actually sit together with your child and attempt an aptitude test, and it's a free link. If you haven't tried it so far, please go and visit the Facebook page of NTV. The video is available pause the video at the right time and make sure that you watch, take a look at that link and access it. Today, we are going to do the second step, which is allowing your child to understand his aptitude based on his personality-based career choice. And we're going to use MBTI, the world's most popular psychometric assessment for this. We are extremely proud because this is an expensive instrument, and we are so happy and proud that we're giving it away free on public domain. Just remember that you got it for the first time on NTV, My Teacher. So dear parents, before you start today's show, let me tell you, you cannot sit back and enjoy today's show. Please go and get a piece of paper and a pen. Stop what you're doing. Please go get a paper and a pen. Meanwhile, let me explain to you, I got in touch with MBTI 6 years back, and I got my certification done. It's an awesome tool. I'm in love with it, and I've been able to help hundreds of youngsters find the right career choices. So here we go. Before we start our discussion on MBTI, I would like to share a small video on the subject. So can I request the studio to play this introductory video about the topic, please? Welcome back. Hope you have your paper and pen ready. Let me take you through what we're going to discuss today. I'll be explaining different personality types to you. You have to listen well and you have to make a choice. In the video, you were able to see certain keywords like extroversion, E, introversion, I. I'll be talking about them in detail. You have to think, am I an extrovert, am I an E, or am I an introvert, am I an I? This is the choice that you have to make. At the end of the session, you can definitely take a look at the video link that is available below. That is again a link that provides free access to career information based on MBTI. You have to get your personality type. It's a 4-letter code. And you go with this code to this website and it'll show you umpteen options of the right career for you. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start our discussion. MBTI divides people into two based on these parameters. The first one, how do you interact with the outer world? How do you interact and appear to people other than you? Okay, that's one. You could either be an extrovert or you could be an introvert. You could be an E or you could be an I. Let me start explaining the typical behavioral indicators of an E. All you have to do is to listen and guess. Am I an E or am I an I? Okay? Straight and simple. So here we go. E stands for extroversion. Okay? How are extroverts? Extroverts are people who are extremely attracted to people and events. Okay? They wouldn't like to sit alone. If they hear some noise outside, if they know there's an event happening, irrespective of how tired they are, they would like to go out and mingle with people. They love staying with people. Okay? They enjoy meeting and talking with new people. If an extrovert gets into a lift and he finds people that he doesn't know, he's the first one to say, "Hi, how are you? My name is Sangeet." And he introduces himself, because for him, he cannot live a day without going out and meeting and interacting with people. That's where he gets his energy. They're usually very friendly. They love talking a lot. And they're very easy to know. If you spend a few minutes with an extrovert, you'll know where he works, what his name is, which college he went to, what's his wife's name, does he have a pet, what's his mobile number. All this information is usually given away. Okay? A small problem with extroverts is they usually talk without thinking. Okay? Especially if you have extroverted children, you ask them a question and you'll start hearing weird answers. And you'll have to tell them, "What did you say?" And they'll say, no, this is not what I said. And they'll come back with version 2. And then again version 3. Because for them, they talk first and then they start thinking. And these extroverts are people who need a lot of feedback. Okay, nice shirt, nice work. If you don't give them feedback, they feel bad, and they also give a lot of feedback to people. Now these are typical traits of extroverted people. Okay, now let's look at an extremely different world, a world on the other side, the world of introverted people. These people are not attracted to the outer worlds or events. They are attracted to their inner world of thoughts and feelings. Given a choice, they'll prefer sitting alone, reading a book or watching something rather than going out and meeting people. They prefer to be left alone. They prefer to think, they prefer to plan. If you go and interrupt them regularly, they're going to find it very, very irritating. Even if you are a loved one, please don't disturb me, give me some time for myself. They will interact only with people they know. So if they get into the lift and they find 5 of them standing, if they know one of them, they'll say hi. Maybe 2 more words, but not more. They will never be the one to first put out their hand and say hi. They'll have very few friends. Okay? Imagine an introvert has been in Dubai for 40 years and he's going back. Who's going to drop him to the airport? Maybe 1 or 2 people. On the other hand, an extrovert has been here on a visit visa and he's going back. You'll find the entire contingent leaving him because he's friendly, talks to people. Introverts are also very low on strokes. They will not give feedback. So if you cook a nice dish to an introverted child, he might enjoy it, but he'll never say, "Hey mom, hey dad, that's wonderful." He might think about it, but he might not say it. So you have an extrovert who's so full of energy, talking, friendly, going out with people, an introvert who's quiet and thinking and slightly reserved. Okay? So you have to make a choice. Are you an E or are you an I? I know a lot of parents who feel bad because their children are introverts. You don't have to. Introverts are extremely creative. Some of the world's most creative people, some of the world's most important thinkers, Albert Einstein, Newton, you talk about Dr. Abdul Kalam, all of them are introverted people. So if you have an introverted child, don't feel bad. He's an asset. He can grow up into somebody quite useful. So now I would like to share with you a small video which talks about the difference between extroverts and introverts. Take a look and make a choice. Are you an E or are you an I? Can I request the studio to play the video, please?
Sarah makes the intense entrance.
Think about it now, okay? I'm sure you would have been able to make the distinction between an A, between an E and who's an extrovert and I who's an introvert. That's the beauty of MBTI. Now let's talk about 2 specific jobs. A job of an accountant, somebody who's in finance. what kind of a person will do well in this particular profile, okay? Because accountancy, we're talking about confidential information. You require a lot of time to think and work. Do you think an extrovert who's all out meeting people, a lot of energy, saying hi, running all around the building, or somebody who would be more reserved and quiet, and somebody who's more thoughtful would do a better job? I don't want to explain it. I think it's obvious. Think about a sales and marketing professional, somebody who has to go out, meet people all the time, convince them. Who do you think will do a better job? An extroverted person, an E, or an introverted person, an I? Don't worry, at the end of the session you can actually go and visit that link. In fact, you can do it right away, but don't leave us. You can take a look at the link and see what is the appropriate career for you. We continue our discussion now. Let's come to the second difference. Okay, you've got one letter of the code. Totally there are 4 letters, and we'll go there in a few minutes. The second difference between people, according to MBTI, is based on the way you process information. How does your brain process information? How do you take in information, or how do you give out information? Based on that, you could either be a sensing, please note parents, it is S for sensing, or you could be intuitive, and N for intuitive. Let's explain the sensing part. A sensing person tends to give and take specific instructions. So if you ask a sensing person, what time will you come home, or what time will you come to the office, he'll say, I'll come exactly at 3:30 or 3:35. On the other hand, if you ask an intuitive person, he'll say, well, maybe after lunch. Okay? They will not be very specific in the way they talk. Sensing people are very practical and realistic. They love subjects like math, science. Intuitive people, on the other hand, love subjects like literature, like subjects like management. To a sensing person, if you explain a poem to him, a poem that talks about the clouds and the sky is very meaningful, he'll look at you. He'll say, what are you trying to say? Because for him, he wants things to be very specific. A sensing person likes procedures. He wants instructions very clearly. He likes to, a sensing person will keep his room very neatly. Everything will be in its place. He has got specific routines for doing things. And he will be critical at times, because for him, if you have to keep your shoes in the shoe rack, the shoes must be kept like this, exactly 1-to-1. For them, home is like home center. Everything is structured, everything has a place, and everything has to be in the place. And these people do not like changes a lot. You know why? Because they painfully build things and they don't want things to be changed. So think about this. Is your child a sensor who likes to put structures, who finishes things on time, whose room is extremely neat, who does not like changes, who speaks in a specific way? Then you will have career choices for him. On the other hand, let's look at the world of intuitive people. The code for them is N. These are people who do not live in the present. They are extremely forgetful. Oh, was I supposed to do that? Oh, is today Monday? Because they're always living in the future. What can I do? How can I make things better? They love poetry. They love topics like management, as we said. They don't believe in details. If you have a child who is intuitive, you'll send him to the kitchen and you'll tell him, bring the sugar bowl. Okay? And the guy will come back and say, Mom, where's the sugar bowl? I've not seen the sugar bowl. And you go with him and you'll show him exactly where the sugar bowl is. He would be a little messy because for him, he doesn't really believe that things should be kept in specific order. Okay? There's no routine. One day he might take one route to work. The other day he might take another route. He goes to a restaurant. One day he has Chinese. The second day he has sushi. Third day is Indian. That's the way he is. Okay? And he loves changes. Look at the way an intuitive person would keep his room. He'll keep changing it. Things will not be in specific order. So now it's time for you to decide. Is your child a sensor, an S, or is your child an intuitive person? I would like you to take a look at a small video now, which will help you to make this decision quicker. S versus N. Can I request the studio to play the video, please?
Okay, so you're gonna go down that road, right? And then you're gonna come to that sign. And it's that really big sign, and then it's either Upper College Road or Lower College Road. I'm not sure which one. But then you're gonna take a right, and you're gonna keep going until you get to like this stop sign. It's like right next to this house.
Give me the phone.
What?
No, it's not next to a house at all. You're gonna take a right onto Upper College Road. You're gonna follow that through the first stop sign. You're gonna reach it's gonna be a right-hand side just after a building called Edwards Hall. You're gonna take a right, you're gonna go about halfway down that road.
I'm sure that video would have helped you make a choice better. Now, are you an S or an N? Let's talk about specific professions. A surgeon, somebody who plans to be a doctor. Should he be a sensor, attention to detail and specific routines, or should he be an intuitive person? Somebody who's creative, no attention to detail, looking for possibilities, opening up a person's body and saying, let me be creative today. You have to be a sensor. Somebody who's an architect. Again, a lot of attention to detail, a lot of work. It's better that you become a sensor. Somebody who's in event management, where it's not about specific details, but it's about coming up with creative new changes. Isn't that obvious? We have reached the first half of our journey through MBTI. We've looked at 2 letters of your type. We'll continue our discussion after we take a short break. Don't go away. Stay with us when we explore this MBTI further.